Basketball Wives Law has never been short on drama, but the latest buzz has everyone talking nonstop. What was supposed to be a calm conversation between the ladies quickly spiraled into one of the most jaw-dropping moments fans have seen all season. According to the chatter making waves online, Ming sat down with Evelyn and Brandi and dropped a confession so wild it instantly shifted the energy in the room. The subject: Jackie and the string of dirty rumors swirling around her name. The second Ming opened her mouth, jaws dropped. Evelyn's expression turned from relaxed to pure disbelief, while Brandi looked like she could barely process what she was hearing. Fans watching from home were glued to their screens, tweeting reactions in real time and flooding comment sections with memes. The rumor wasn't just shocking, it was messy, layered, and bound to stir up chaos in friendships that were already hanging by a thread. Was Ming being brutally honest? Or was she stirring the pot to create more tension in a group already split down the middle? Either way, this so-called confession has left the cast shaken. The audience divided and everyone desperate to know what happens next. When it comes to Basketball Wives Law, fans know to expect drama, but nobody was prepared for the storm that Ming stirred up. The setting seemed simple enough. Ming meeting up with Evelyn and Brandi, two women who have both had their fair share of public fallouts and reconciliations. Yet what happened in that moment turned into one of the most talked about scenes of the season. From the second the cameras caught Ming settling into her seat, there was a sense that something was brewing. Her tone was calm, but her body language gave away that she was holding on to something big. Evelyn, sipping her drink, leaned back casually, unaware that the mood was about to flip. Brandi, usually more guarded, was focused on the conversation, but didn't expect the words that would leave Ming's mouth. And then it happened. Ming leaned forward and said, almost too casually, "There are some dirty rumors about Jackie that you both need to hear." The reaction was immediate. Evelyn's eyes widened, her eyebrows shooting up as she nearly choked on her drink. "Wait, what?" she asked, half laughing, half shocked. Brandi, on the other hand, froze, blinking as if she was trying to figure out if Ming was joking. But Ming wasn't laughing. She was serious, her voice steady, her expression focused. And that's when the energy in the room shifted completely. Fans watching later couldn't get enough of the moment. Social media erupted with clips, memes, and endless speculation. Hashtags about Jackie trended for hours as people debated whether Ming was exposing real tea or just playing into the chaos. Some viewers said it felt staged, while others swore that Ming's delivery was too raw, too deliberate, to be anything but genuine. One fan tweeted, "Ming's face didn't flinch once. That's not acting, that's someone dropping truth bombs." Another countered, "This is classic reality TV drama. No way she'd risk saying that if it was actually true." Back at the table, the mood only got heavier. Evelyn leaned forward, pressing Ming for details. "You can't just drop something like that and not explain. What are you talking about?" Brandi nodded quickly, her voice lower. "Yeah, you can't just say dirty rumors and leave it there." Ming sighed, almost as if she didn't want to continue. But then she said, "People are saying Jackie has been caught up in situations that aren't as innocent as she makes them out to be. It's not just about arguments or shade. It's about what she's been doing behind closed doors." And the whispers aren't going away. The words hung in the air like smoke. Evelyn tilted her head, clearly intrigued but cautious. "So what? You're saying she's hiding something? Like what exactly?" Brandi, visibly uncomfortable, crossed her arms and muttered, "This sounds messy already." And messy it was. Ming didn't go into graphic detail right then, but she made it clear that the rumors were not like gossip, they were scandalous. The kind that could change how the group saw Jackie forever. And while Ming insisted she wasn't trying to be cruel, her decision to bring it up in that moment said otherwise. The internet, of course, ran wild with theories. Some fans speculated that Jackie's personal life was being dragged into the spotlight once again, something that had happened before in past seasons. Others wondered if this was retaliation for Jackie's history of stirring drama herself. After all, Jackie has been known to throw out accusations about others, so seeing the tables turn felt like karma to some viewers. As one fan posted, Jackie's been in everyone else's business for years. Now look, it's her turn. But the controversy wasn't just about Jackie. Ming herself became a lightning rod for criticism and praise. Some accused her of being messy, of intentionally trying to divide the group. Others applauded her for being bold enough to say what others were too scared to. A viral comment read, "Ming is giving us classic." Reality TV, keeping it real even if it means burning bridges. The tension only grew as Evelyn pushed harder. "Ming, I need to know if you actually believe this or if you're just repeating nonsense. Because you're saying a lot without actually saying anything." Brandi nodded again, still hesitant. "Yeah, this feels like something that could blow up worse than you think." Ming stayed calm, her voice steady. "Look, I'm not saying I know it all. I'm saying this is what's being said and you two deserve to know. Because if it gets back to Jackie and she thinks people are talking behind her back, it's going to be even worse." That statement struck a chord. Evelyn leaned back, shaking her head slightly, muttering, "This is exactly the kind of thing that tears the group apart." Brandi, who has always valued loyalty, looked conflicted. "I don't even want to be in the middle of this," she admitted. But by then, it was too late. Ming had planted the seed, and there was no going back. Viewers were quick to point out how calculated the move seemed. Dropping the rumor in front of both Evelyn and Brandi ensured that it wouldn't stay hidden. Even if Ming wanted to downplay it later, the words had been spoken, the cameras had caught it, and the storyline was locked in. Fans debated whether Ming's timing was strategic. Was she trying to gain favor by exposing Jackie? Was she testing who would side with her versus Jackie? Or was she genuinely just passing along information she thought was important? One of the most striking things about the scene was the way Evelyn and Brandi reacted so differently. Evelyn, always the sharper and more outspoken of the two, wanted answers. She leaned into the drama, pressing Ming for every detail. Brandi, on the other hand, seemed more uncomfortable, almost shrinking away from the tension, as if afraid of what might happen if Jackie found out she had been part of this conversation. But that contrast made the moment even more compelling. Fans loved watching the dynamic play out, one woman leaning in, another pulling back. And Ming sitting in the middle, holding the power with her words. As one recap article put it, Ming walked into that scene with a match, and by the time she left, the whole room was on fire. By the end of the sit-down, nothing had been fully confirmed, yet everything had changed. Evelyn and Brandi left the conversation with questions they couldn't ignore. And Ming walked away knowing she had set the stage for something bigger. The audience, meanwhile, was left buzzing, desperate to see how Jackie would respond once she heard about what was said. The confession may not have been filled with concrete evidence, but it didn't need to be. In reality TV, the mere suggestion of scandal is enough to light the fuse. And with Jackie's name tied to dirty rumors, the fuse was already burning fast. As soon as word of Ming's revelation began to circulate, the fallout was impossible to contain. It wasn't just a casual dinner conversation anymore. Whispers spread quickly among the group, and the tension grew thicker with every passing hour. Evelyn and Brandi had tried to keep their composure in the moment, but behind the scenes, both women couldn't stop replaying Ming's words in their minds. Evelyn, known for her fiery temper and sharp instincts, was already plotting her next move. She confided in a close friend off camera that the rumor felt too heavy to ignore. "If there's truth to what Ming said, I need to know. Jackie has thrown shade at me for years, and if this is real, then she's about to feel what it's like to be on the other side." Her tone was icy, but there was also a spark of excitement drama, like this kept the spotlight bright. And Evelyn knew exactly how to use it to her advantage. Brandi, meanwhile, was stuck in a dilemma. Her loyalty to the group clashed with her desire to avoid messy conflicts. She vented privately, saying, "This is not what I signed up for. I can't be sitting here carrying someone else's secret, especially if it's this dirty. But if I say nothing, it'll look like I was part of hiding it." Fans who follow Brandi closely could sense her unease. Some viewers even predicted that she would crack under pressure, spilling everything sooner rather than later. Social media fueled the fire. Fan pages dissected every frame of the conversation, analyzing Ming's tone, Evelyn's facial expressions, and Brandi's silence. Countless posts speculated about what the rumor could actually be. One viral thread read, "It's always the ones who act the most innocent who have the biggest skeletons. If Jackie's been hiding something, this could destroy her reputation for good." Others defended Jackie, saying she was being unfairly targeted by the newcomers. The divide among fans only mirrored the divide forming within the cast. While all of this unfolded, Jackie herself remained unaware. She carried on with her usual antics, planning events, posting cheerful updates online, completely oblivious to the storm brewing behind her back. But the producers, sensing gold, made sure that the tension would soon explode. They arranged for the women to meet again, knowing the weight of Ming's words would hang heavy in the air. The next group gathering started out cordial, but everyone could feel the underlying strain. Ming walked in confidently, her head high, not backing down from the role she had taken. Evelyn exchanged a quick glance with Brandi, as if silently debating who would address the elephant in the room first. And then, like clockwork, the tension cracked. Evelyn, never one to hold back, turned to Ming and said loudly enough for everyone to hear, "So are you going to repeat what you told us? Or are we all just going to sit here pretending nothing was said?" Gasps echoed around the table. The other women, who hadn't been present for Ming's initial confession, immediately perked up. Eyes darted back and forth between Ming and Evelyn, waiting for an explosion. Jackie, confused, looked directly at Ming and demanded, "What's going on? What did you say?" In that moment, all eyes were on Ming. Her calm demeanor returned, though the pressure was undeniable. She took a slow breath and said, "I didn't want to do this like this, but since it's out there now, I'll say it again. People are talking about you, Jackie. The rumors aren't pretty, and everyone deserves to know before it gets uglier." The room erupted. Some women tried to hush the situation, while others leaned forward eagerly, waiting for the full story. Jackie's face flushed red with anger, her voice rising as she shot back, "Rumors? About me? I don't know what you think you're doing, but you're not about to sit here and drag my name." Brandi shifted uncomfortably, wishing she could melt into her chair. Evelyn, however, thrived in the chaos. "Jackie, don't get mad at us." Ming brought it up, and honestly, if it's not true, then why are you getting so defensive? That line struck a nerve. Jackie slammed her hand on the table, her voice booming. "I'm defensive because you don't know what people are capable of saying about you when they're jealous or trying to tear you down. I've been in this game too long to fall for these tactics." But even as she spoke, the doubt in her eyes was impossible to miss. The reactions of the women around the table only made things worse. Some whispered among themselves, others openly smirked, clearly entertained by the spectacle. Cameras caught every twitch of Jackie's face, every flicker of Ming's steady gaze, every triumphant grin from Evelyn, and the fans ate it up. Recaps labeled the confrontation as one of the juiciest moments of the season. Online debates raged late into the night about who was in the right. One fan wrote, "Ming is brave for calling Jackie out, but doing it like this, in front of everyone, that's next level messy." Another commented, "Jackie's reaction says it all. If it wasn't true, she wouldn't have blown up like that." But Ming didn't back down. With her voice calm but cutting, she told Jackie, "You can be mad at me, but don't forget, didn't start these rumors. I just didn't think it was fair for everyone else to be left in the dark." Her words landed like a dagger. Jackie was furious, but the group's curiosity only deepened. The scene ended with chaos. Voices overlapping, accusations flying, and Jackie storming out, her microphone catching her muttering, "This is disgusting. I won't be part of this circus." Yet even as she walked away, everyone knew it wasn't over. Because in reality TV, storming out never means the end. It just sets the stage for a bigger explosion when the dust settles. The aftermath was immediate. Group chats buzzed, alliances shifted, and producers leaned into the storyline. Fans speculated endlessly about whether Jackie would come back swinging with her own secrets about Ming, Evelyn, or Brandi. As one viral comment put it, they just opened Pandora's box. Nothing will ever be the same after this. After Jackie stormed out of the gathering, the room was left buzzing with restless energy. The women sat there, some in shock, others smirking as if they had just witnessed history being made. Evelyn leaned back in her chair, her arms crossed with a look of satisfaction, while Brandi nervously sipped her drink, her hands trembling slightly. Ming, however, sat tall, unbothered, as if she had just delivered exactly what she came to say. The producers knew they had struck gold. They encouraged the women to continue discussing the situation on camera. And sure enough, the chatter picked right back up. Evelyn was the first to speak, her voice sharp and deliberate. "You all saw that reaction, right? If nothing was going on, Jackie wouldn't have lost it like that. She made it obvious something's up." Brandi tried to interject, her tone softer, almost pleading. "I don't know, Evelyn. Sometimes people just get defensive when they feel attacked. Maybe she was caught off guard. We don't really know what's true," but her words were drowned out by the others, who were far more interested in dissecting Jackie's dramatic exit. One of the women laughed under her breath, saying she acted like Ming just accused her of a crime. The way she stormed out was like she didn't even want to stick around to deny it properly. Social media, meanwhile, was on fire. Clips of Jackie storming out went viral almost instantly, with fans creating memes, captions, and endless theories. One popular post read, "Jackie ran faster than my Wi-Fi when the rumor came out," while another commented, "You don't slam the table and storm off unless there's smoke. And where there's smoke, there's fire." Behind the cameras, Jackie was pacing back and forth, furious with how everything had played out. She called her husband, venting about the ambush. "They set me up," she ranted. "I walked into that dinner thinking we were going to talk about normal stuff. And suddenly it's all eyes on me. I won't let them paint me as some kind of joke." Her voice cracked with both anger and fear, revealing just how deeply the accusations had shaken her. Evelyn, however, was thriving. She pulled Ming aside once the group dispersed, her tone both curious and strategic. "Listen, you know this is messy, but I need you to tell me everything. If we're going to get through this, we need the full story. Don't hold back now." Ming, sensing the power she held, gave Evelyn just enough to keep her hooked, hinting at the darker side of the rumor without spilling every detail. "All I'll say," she whispered, "is that what's being said about Jackie and Jennifer isn't just a simple misunderstanding. It's wild, it's dirty, and if more people find out, it's going to shake this whole group to its core." Brandi, overhearing bits of their conversation, felt her stomach drop. She hated being in the middle, yet once again, she was stuck with knowledge she didn't want. She confided later to a friend that she feared being dragged down into the mess. "I don't want to be guilty by association. I don't want fans thinking I'm co-signing this chaos. But at the same time, if I stay quiet, they'll accuse me of hiding something. It's a lose-lose." The drama escalated even further when Jackie returned the next day, demanding a sit-down with the group. Her energy was fierce, her eyes blazing with determination. "If you all think you're going to drag me on television, you've got another thing coming," she snapped. The women shifted uncomfortably, but Ming held her ground. Evelyn smirked, already anticipating the explosion that was about to unfold. Jackie's anger boiled over. She pointed directly at Ming and shouted, "You don't know me. You don't know my life. And you sure as hell don't get to sit there and spread lies about me. I've been in this circle long enough to know when someone is trying to use me as a stepping stone." Ming, calm as ever, replied, "I didn't spread lies, Jackie. I shared what's already out there. If it's false, then say it loud and clear. But storming off, screaming, calling it an ambush doesn't exactly convince anyone you're innocent." The group erupted once more. Evelyn jumped in, stirring the pot. "Honestly, Jackie, Ming has a point. Why not just shut it down completely instead of acting like the world is against you? Unless, maybe there's something you don't want us to know." The crowd of women gasped, their hands covering their mouths in shock. Jackie's face turned scarlet, her voice breaking as she yelled, "You want the truth? You couldn't handle the truth even if I handed it to you on a silver platter." Her words left the room hanging in stunned silence. Fans watching at home were glued to their screens. The hashtag Jackie's secret trended within hours, with viewers speculating about what she could possibly be hiding. Some suggested the rumors were exaggerated, while others believed Ming had only scratched the surface of something much darker. Jackie, refusing to let the narrative spiral out of control, decided to confront Jennifer directly. She stormed into Jennifer's house unannounced, cameras trailing behind her. "They're dragging both of us," Jackie said urgently. Ming told Evelyn and Brandi about these disgusting rumors, and now everyone thinks we're hiding something. "We need to get on the same page." Jennifer, caught off guard, raised her eyebrows and replied, "Wait, what exactly did she say?" Jackie hesitated, her pride making it difficult to repeat the words. Finally, she muttered, "She made it sound like you and me were caught up in something. Something that wasn't just about friendship." Jennifer's jaw dropped. "Are you serious?" "That's the rumor, that we were involved in some dirty mess together." She laughed nervously, though her eyes betrayed her discomfort. "This is insane. I can't believe people are buying into this." But even as she tried to brush it off, her reaction left room for doubt. The way her laugh trailed off, the way she avoided Jackie's direct gaze, it was all captured on camera, fueling the fan speculation even more. Some viewers claimed her body language screamed guilt, while others argued she was just shocked and embarrassed. The tension between Jackie and Jennifer deepened as they argued over how to handle the situation. Jackie wanted to confront Ming Hadan, but Jennifer urged caution. "The more we fight about it, the more people will believe it," she warned. Sometimes silence speaks louder than shouting. But Jackie wasn't willing to stay quiet, especially with her reputation on the line. Back in the main group, Evelyn and Ming were already plotting their next move. Evelyn confided, "This storyline is just getting started and Jackie's already unraveling. If she keeps reacting like this, people will think every word of it is true." Ming simply smiled, knowing she had stirred the pot enough to keep the drama alive for weeks to come. And as always with reality TV, the lines between rumor, truth, and performance blurred. Fans debated endlessly. Alliances fractured further. And the air around the women grew heavier with every accusation, every denial, and every whispered secret that threatened to spill. The tension in the group reached a breaking point when producers arranged another dinner to bring everyone together. The setting was supposed to feel elegant, with dim lights, expensive decor, and calm music playing in the background. But from the moment the women sat down, it was clear there would be nothing calm about the evening. Jackie arrived first, dressed immaculately, determined to project confidence. She refused to let anyone see her shaken. Minutes later, Jennifer walked in, her expression unreadable. But the air between the two of them was thick with unspoken words. Evelyn, Ming, and Brandi came together, their whispers filling the room before the cameras even started rolling. Once everyone was seated, the small talk barely lasted 2 minutes before the drama resurfaced. Ming leaned forward, her tone deceptively sweet. "Since we're all here, maybe we should clear the air. I mean, people are talking. Fans are speculating. Don't you think it's better to just be open?" Jackie immediately rolled her eyes, her patience already stretched thin. "People are talking because you keep giving them something to talk about," she snapped. "If you would stop dragging my name through the mud, none of this would even exist." Ming didn't flinch. "I didn't drag your name, Jackie. I simply repeated what was already being whispered. If it's not true, then why does it bother you so much?" Her calmness only seemed to ignite Jackie further. Brandi tried to diffuse the situation, her voice soft. "Look, everyone's emotions are running high, but maybe we should just focus on moving forward. The more we fight, the worse it looks. People are going to think the rumor is real no matter what if we keep giving it attention." But Evelyn wasn't having it. She turned to Jackie, her words sharp as knives. "Honestly, Jackie, you're your own worst enemy here. You could have just laughed it off, but instead you threw a tantrum, stormed out. And now you're screaming at everyone. It's not a good look." The room went silent for a beat before Jackie fired back. You're always quick to point the finger, Evelyn. But let's not act like your closet is clean. I've been holding things back out of respect. But maybe it's time everyone remembers your history too. The implication hung heavy in the air. The women gasping at the audacity of Jackie's threat. Ming seized the moment. See, this is what happens when people have secrets. One rumor turns into 10 more, and suddenly no one knows what's real anymore. But I'll tell you, this fans are already convinced there's more to this story. And honestly, I don't blame them. Social media once again lit up like wildfire as the dinner aired. Fans dissected every glance, every gesture, every pause in conversation. Some swore Jennifer's nervous laugh during her talk with Jackie was a confession in itself. Others thought Ming was manipulating the entire situation just to rise in the group's ranks. The hashtag dirty rumor trended for hours, with thousands of comments arguing over whether the threesome claims held any truth. Behind the cameras, Jennifer struggled with the fallout. She called a close friend late at night, her voice tired. I didn't sign up for this kind of mess. I've got my career, my projects, my family watching, and now I've got strangers online tearing me apart. This could ruin everything if it keeps spreading. Her vulnerability was raw, a stark contrast to the composed facade she showed the group. Jackie, meanwhile, doubled down on her defiance. She posted a cryptic message on social media: when they can't touch your truth, I'll try to create lies. Fans flooded the comments with divided opinions. Some praised her for standing strong, while others accused her of deflecting instead of addressing the situation head-on. The producers, sensing the storm was far from over, orchestrated yet another confrontation, this time at a group outing. The setting was less formal, a rooftop lounge with music and drinks, but the tension followed them like a shadow. Ming once again took center stage, leaning into her role as the instigator. So, Jackie, Jennifer, since the last dinner didn't exactly clear things up, maybe now's your chance. Tell us straight, was there anything to the rumor, or are we wasting our time? Jackie slammed her glass on the table, her eyes blazing. I'm done answering to lies. Believe what you want, but I know the truth. And the truth is, you're all desperate for a storyline. And I just happen to be the easiest target. Jennifer, though quieter, finally broke her silence with a surprising twist. She looked at Ming directly and said, if you think you know something about me, go ahead and say it. But be ready, because once you start that war, there's no going back. Her voice trembled slightly, but the threat in her words was undeniable. The group was left stunned. Even Evelyn, who had been the loudest critic, leaned back momentarily speechless. Ming smirked, clearly enjoying the chaos she had unleashed. I don't need to say more, she replied coolly. The fans already did the math. I just gave them the equation. That single line became iconic, repeated endlessly online, turned into memes, and quoted in articles recapping the episode. I gave them the equation was suddenly the phrase of the season, fueling speculation that the women were hiding more than they admitted by the end of the night. The fractures in the group were deeper than ever. Jackie and Jennifer were barely holding on to their friendship. Brandi was exhausted from trying to play peacemaker, and Evelyn seemed more determined than ever to expose whatever secrets might be lingering beneath the surface. Ming, on the other hand, had solidified her place as the unpredictable wild card. A woman unafraid to push buttons and sit back as the world reacted. The scandal had gone far beyond a simple rumor. It had turned into a full-blown storyline that threatened to define not only Jackie and Jennifer's reputations, but also the dynamics of the entire group. Friendships were fractured, alliances shifted, and every gathering carried the weight of unresolved tension as the cameras wrapped for the night. One thing was clear: the dirty rumor had taken on a life of its own. Whether or not there was any truth to it almost didn't matter anymore. What mattered was the impact, the way it reshaped relationships, and the way fans devoured every second of the drama. The women walked away from that rooftop lounge knowing nothing would ever be the same again. And viewers were left wondering just how far this scandal would go before the dust finally settled. And just like that, the night ended with more questions than answers. Jackie stormed out yet again, Jennifer left simmering in silence. Ming sat there with that knowing smile. And Evelyn looked more convinced than ever that something was being hidden from the group. What started as whispers has now exploded into one of the biggest scandals this circle has ever faced. And fans are split right down the middle. Some believe Ming is simply stirring the pot for attention, while others swear her words carry a grain of truth. The reactions online show just how divided people are, with half defending Jackie and Jennifer and the other half convinced they're keeping a dirty secret buried. The real shock is how deeply this rumor has managed to cut into friendships that have lasted for years. Jackie's pride is on the line, Jennifer's reputation is under fire. And Brandi is exhausted from being dragged into the middle of the chaos. Meanwhile, Evelyn seems ready to dig until she finds proof of something, anything, that validates the claims. And Ming. She's sitting pretty, letting the storm swirl around her, knowing she's become the most talked about name of the season. So now the biggest question is this: where does the truth really lie? Are we witnessing nothing more than exaggerated gossip? Or is there a fire burning behind all this smoke? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: the drama is far from over. And now, it's your turn. What do you think really happened here? Do you believe Jackie and Jennifer when they deny the rumors? Or do you think Ming just exposed a scandal too wild to ignore?